birds which are flying. When the co-passengers were listening to this, they started laughing at the father and the son. That such a big son, 20-year-old, does not know about these basic things. One lady felt very inquisitive and she got up and she asked that person, that man, why are you telling all these basic things of life to this 20-year-old boy? Doesn't he know what does a bird look like? What does a tree look like? What is the color of the sky? The man said, smiled a little bit and said, my son was born blind. He could not see anything in this world. Few days back only, he got operated. And today, he's seeing the world for the first time. We could see this, that he is explaining these things, but we could not have the vision of thinking that why that person is explaining in this way. So children, there are so many lessons to be taken from this. God has given many beautiful gifts to us, blessings, many. And out of those blessings are these two beautiful eyes. It not only helps us see this physical, beautiful world, but it is expected that we have a good vision too. So let's thank God for these beautiful eyes and pray to Him to give us good vision. So the thought for the day is, I opened two gifts this morning, given to me, bestowed to me by God. They were my eyes. When it rains, what your eyes should be looking for, look for rainbows, positive world, always. Even if it is dark, tough time in your life, start looking for stars. So we are facing with tough time, but then we have to find out stars in this. Let's always be positive in every situation, my dear children. Open your beautiful eyes and thank God for them. We proceed to our class. We are going to start with it now. Before we start, we are going to please let's see this general instructions, which is very important, children. Turn off your audio and video. We need not tell you every time. You are matured enough to understand this, children. Please rename yourself. Please check, all of you. You have renamed yourself. Your name is there properly. Your admission number then, followed by your class and by your section. It should be in the same chronology. And if you have any query, don't raise your hands. Rather, please mail it to us. We will take care. Maintain the decorum and discipline of the virtual classes. It will be appreciated. Moving on to the next slide. This is your self-check quiz answers. Which of the following starts from the factory? It was all of the above. Product, production, and selling concept. Marketing mix is the set of selling tools, publicity, marketing or production. It is marketing, because it is sum total of all 4 P's. Which term is used to describe the combination of variables chosen by a firm to prepare its market offering? It is marketing mix. It is combination of variables, yes. Identify the P. You see this, it is a product. There you can see the label, you can see the package, and that is all part of a product. Fine. So this was the answer of self-check, and these are the winners. This Khushi Kelly is always taking the lead and not letting behind is Yashika of 12D, Ishanjali of 12P. Very good girls, good going. Boys are also going to be there, I think so. Dia Huria, Yash Ahuja has come for the second time. Good Yash. Aditi Gupta, Apurv, 12P, Lakshit, 12C, Anushka, 12D, Brahmishta, 12P, Saksham 12D, Shakti 12C, Riya 12F, Tisha 12D, Rishita 12D, Riya Sarda 12C, and Mishti 12F, Harshit Gupta 12C, Ayushi 12C, Abhiraj 12D, Piyush 12C, Harshit 12F, Pooja 12C, Chavi 12D, Lakshay 12C, Parvini 12D, Sehe 12F, Upasna 12D, Nipun 12D, Sarthak Gupta 12D, Chaitanya Gupta 12C, Vanshika Srivastava 12D, Imani 12th F. Very well done, children. All of you got the answers correct. And we have the children who have participated. Many participated for the first time, but a round of applause for you all. Manan Kukreja 12C, Uday 12D, Chaitanya 12th F, Siddhant 12C, Mridul 12C, Ishika 12C, Vishwas 12C, Vanisha 12C, Pravi 12C, Kushi Agicha 12th F, Chirag 12th F, Jivisha 12C, Avni 12C, Hardik Jain 12C, Akanksha 12C, Asta Sharma 12C, Nitesh 12C, Divit 12C, Kunal 12C, Niharika 12D. So very good children. And as I said, you were very obedient. You also, many of you participated. I want that the children who are attending the class, all of you should be participating. Today, it is going to be a little tough self-check quiz, but everybody has to be attentive. We are going to check your knowledge. A quick recap is required, children, for this marketing chapter because we are going to cover many concepts and it will be little fast. You are, if you're attentive in the class, you'll be able to coordinate the things very well. One lecture gone means your one important link will be gone. So here it is a quick recap. Listen carefully and be attentive. Okay, this is recapitulation for you. We have our, what is a market? We have told you the traditional meaning of market is it is a place where buyers and sellers meet and conduct buying and selling activities. But this was a traditional definition. Let's see what are the different types of market. We have said that the markets can be categorized on the basis of product, on geographical location, national, international, types of buyer, consumer, industrial, quantity, whether wholesale or retailers, okay, retail markets. Then we had talked about, even though the traditional concept says that market is a place, but modern meaning is totally different. Modern meaning is that it comprises of the actual and potential buyers, those who want to buy the product wherever they are, they will be constituting the market definition. But not letting only up to market, we went on to the name of the chapter, that is marketing. What is the meaning of marketing? We talked, marketing is identifying the needs and wants of people and finding out ways and means to satisfy it. So this was the meaning of marketing. Then we had talked about the definition which was given by Philip Kotler, which said that marketing is a social process by which the groups and individuals they obtain what they need and want by creating market offering and exchanging of goods and services of value. From this, we had taken up 4 points of marketing, that it satisfies needs and wants. What are that? Creating market offering, exchanging, what is exchange and what is the meaning of a value. So we had talked in detail about it. So you should know all the 4 features of marketing. These were the 4 features which came out of the definition of Philip Kotler, okay, above. After the features of marketing, we talked about what can be marketed. We said product we know and services they can be marketed. Studies language, what can be marketed? Anything of value to other person can be marketed. So we said what can be marketed? A product can be marketed, a service can be marketed, a place can be, like tourism is done, places are being marketed, ideas like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Digital India, polio vaccination, all these, girl child education, all these ideas, they can also be marketed. A person can be marketed as it is done in elections. So when you talk about what can be marketed, it can be anything of value to others. Then we had talked about the philosophies. There were five philosophies, children, on which the marketeers started basing their production. So, what were those philosophies, also known as concept? What were those? They were production concept or philosophy, where the focus was on affordability and availability of the products, means making the goods available and affordable at affordable prices to the people, but making it available. Product philosophy was focusing on only availability of product features, good features, better features, quality, and styles and looks of the product. So the main focus was on product. The other philosophies were selling philosophy because product philosophy was not working. So it was required now that the salesmen had to be very aggressive in their selling and sell the product to lure the customer and attract them, induce them to buy, convince them to buy. So that was selling concept. But it was done by hook or crook, which was a short, for short term selling philosophies you used to work. People were not coming back to buy the products. So there was a need to change the philosophy, the concept change to marketing. That is, the goods, it was understood what was the need of the market. That is, the pillars of marketing came into being. What was the need of the target market? Then understanding their needs and wants, and then developing a product and satisfying needs and wants, but doing all this at profit. But then satisfying the needs and wants of the people, this point, it means you are satisfying every kind of a need of a person, even though it might not be a socially ethical thing. So there was a philosophy change to societal marketing philosophy. The concept was totally different. The focus was on now ethical, ecological values of the satisfying social needs. Society wise, you have to see, not only to satisfy needs and wants. Then we had talked about marketing mix. We said marketing mix comprises of four P's. Which were those four P's, children? Product, price, place, and promotion. Place is also known as physical distribution. Very important. From here, the actual chapter is it is going to become very important. We are going to study all these four elements, variables. So, what is marketing mix? It is made up of product, price, place, and promotion. What was product price? It was told to you that it comprises of branding, packaging, and labeling. So, we are going to talk about marketing mix again, little bit, because it was done in the last lecture. So, you wanted a quick recap. I am going to give a recap of marketing mix also. Marketing mix is the set of four basic decisions to be taken by the marketer before launching a product. Now, what is going to be these? They are four P's. They are the four variables. They are the four elements which the marketer will keep in mind before he enters the market. So the word can be variables, the word can be elements, which the marketer will take care of before launching the product in the market. Which are those four P? We repeat it again, children. It is product, price, place, and promotion. The other name for place is physical distribution. So, because we are going to talk about these four P's, if there is short note on marketing mix, you are going to talk about different four P's: product, price, place, and promotion. So, what are you going to write down? Product comprises of what? We know this. Product means anything of value to other. It can be anything for that matter. It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a place, it can be a person, it can be an idea. So anything. So when you talk about products and you say product mix, marketing mix is made up of four mixes. It mixes product mix, price mix, promotion mix, and place mix. So these product mix is a combination of all the products which the company has to offer in the market. Now, this is the example of these product mix. So, combination of products which are offered in the market is product mix. The second P is price. Very, very important. Why? Because people are very, very conscious about this. The moment the company is going to change the price, the demand will change. But what is price? It is something which is paid in consideration to the product or the service you are taking. So if you take a product or service, then anything you're going in money or monetary consideration, that becomes the price of a product. So money which is paid for buying anything, the name might be changing. The price word might take the name of tuition fee, rent for the home or shop, interest on the loans, premium on the car, fees of a doctor, salary of the manager, wages of the employees. So it might take any name, but it is the price we are paying for the services or product being offered. So we have to be, the marketeer has to be very, very cautious while fixing the price. Why? Because the customer is going to be very sensitive about it. He is going to shift to your competitors if your price changes to a higher side. So, crucial element. The third P was physical distribution, also known as place mix. When you say this, physical distribution, now try to understand what is the meaning of place mix or physical distribution. Once the goods are produced, children, they are ready to go into the market. You have fixed the price of the product. You have to ensure that the goods should reach the customer in time. Your logistics have to be excellent. If you go to a shop and the shopkeeper does not have the product which you are asking, you will go to some other shop and buy a competitor's product. So the marketer has to ensure that your goods are made available in the right, at the right place at the right time. So what is this? It is an activity that makes firm products available to the target customer. But how does it happen? There has to be some channels of distribution. You know, you being a marketer, you are manufacturer of the good, you are going to pass it on to the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the consumer, but this is the channel. So physical distribution does mean only the channel. These are the goods are going to go from the manufacturer to the wholesaler, right? From wholesaler to retailer, right? From retailer to consumer. But how are they going to reach? So what is, so the place mix is not complete. How these goods will reach from the manufacturer to the wholesaler? So these logistics, this is also going to comprise of place mix. So it is not only the channels, children, which comprise of the physical distribution, not only the channels, but also the physical movement of goods from the manufacturer to the wholesaler. So it comprises of various elements. Then only if your physical system is good, right type of goods are going to go to right place in the right quantity and at the right time. So what is physical distribution mix, children? Making the goods available at the right place, in the right quantity, and at the right time. That is physical distribution. Fine. The goods have gone to the wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer. But you don't know as a customer that that type of a good is available. Our goods our goods are available in the market means the customer are known, they know about this product, that this product is there in the market or not. So people are ignorant about it. So the fourth P comes into the scene. Now, what's that fourth P? It is promotion. Promotion says that goods are going to be promoted. You're going to tell people, you're going to inform people through various ways and means. Advertisement, unless you see an ad in the television, you then realize, oh, this product has come into the market. Is this a new thing which has come? We should buy it. So you'll come to know only when you know about it. So your ignorance has to be removed. The marketer has to ensure that the information of the product is going to the consumer, the prospective customer, so that you can be persuaded, you can be convinced to buy the product through. Now, what you're going to do? Either you're going to declare a sale, or you're going to give discounts, or you're going to do rebate, or you're going to put up road shows. So you're going to find out ways and means to promote your product. You're going to inform your consumer that this product has come into the market. So, what is promotion mix? Promotion mix actually is a sum total of advertising, you know, people going to the people's home, personal selling. They will go and sell the goods. They take a bag along and they sell the goods. Or you're going to do this special schemes, 0% schemes, special discount you're going to do. Or you're going to do publicity or public relation. You're going to have a PR department which is going to take care of your product promotion. So product promotion is going to be a mix of four elements, which are going to be advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity and public relations side by side. We know advertisement. Personal selling and sales promotion, not to get confused. Personal selling means personally the people are going and selling the product. Sales promotion means you are resorting to these type of tricks, marketing strategies, sales and discounts and schemes you're offering, that becomes sales promotion techniques. Or you're going to get a public relation officers, PROs in your company who are going to take care about the goodwill of your company. So in order to promote your product, what are you going to do? You're going to resort to any of these. One, two, three, it is up to you how many elements you want to use. So this is promotion mix. So I repeat, marketing mix, which we have already covered in the last lecture. Marketing mix comprises of 4 P's: product, price, place, promotion. On your tips: product, price, place, and promotion. Place is also known as physical distribution. The whole chapter is going to revolve around these 4 P's. So, what is the marketing mix made up of? Again, here it comes. It is the combination of marketing tools of product, price, place, and promotion. All 4 decisions to be taken up by the marketer. Very, very careful. So, what is marketing mix? It is the sum total of marketing tools like product, price, place, and promotion in order to make satisfy your target market by producing the goods which are being demanded by the people. Fine. So, this is marketing mix. But we need to study these P's in detail. So we will first pick up the first P, which is product mix. We will talk about product. We all know product is what it is it is something which is going to satisfy the needs and wants of people, something of utility of others. So anything which is of benefit to other person, we know that it can be marketed. So when we are going to market a product, we are going to see that there are 3 type of utilities which a person derives from a product. Because we know product is a bundle of utilities. So what kind of utilities are going to be offered by a product, children? It can be, like you see, this pencil What is its main purpose of this product? Its main function is to help us write. What is the function of this umbrella? To, protect us from heat and rain. What is the function of this car? To take us from one place to another. What is the function of these clothes? Provide us with the basic necessity of clothing. You know, so the first thing which a product function for which it is being purchased, it should provide functional utility. That is the function for which it is being purchased, it should be able to provide that. If there is a pencil without a lead, it is useless. Nobody will buy it. If your car is there, it looks like a car but does not move. So it has to perform that function of taking us from one place to another. So functional utility has to be satisfied, first thing. The second thing is psychological utility. When you say psychological utility, it means it should be satisfying your prestige, your status, your esteem should be satisfied. That I am going in this particular car. One psychological satisfaction is there, that I am going in this car, this big car, and you're feeling very happy about it. So your mind is, you are getting a psychological benefit, utility you're getting by buying a particular type of car. So another function of a product is it provides psychological utility. The third thing which a product should, while it is being created, the utility it should be providing is social utility, which means that it should be, the product is going to help you being accepted by your social group. That is social utility. So when you're making a product, marketeers, you have to keep in mind that your product is satisfying these three utilities. Fine. So product is this. Product is anything of value to other person, and it is a bundle of utilities. These are the functions which are being expected from a product to provide. Now, talking about the product, what are the main decisions you are going to take? There are three main decisions which you take. Which are those decisions? Branding, packaging, and labeling. These are the three decisions you will take when you're talking about product mix. When you talk about the first decision, that is branding. What is a brand? Brand is anything. It can be name, it can be a symbol which is going to help you identify the product. You see, it can be a name, it can be a symbol, it can be a design, anything. That is branding. So when you say brand, it will help you identify the product. Whenever you want to go and buy a particular product, you take the name of the product and they will give you. So what you're telling them the brand name. So brand is something which gives identification to the product. Okay, it can be name, it can be symbol, or it can be a design. So it can be a name, it can be a symbol, and it is something which is going to help you differentiate between the competitors' product. LG and Whirlpool are offering similar type of products, but you can easily demarcate by the name, by their features, by the symbols. You can identify that you're buying LG or Whirlpool. So branding is something which is going to provide identification to a product. Now listen carefully, it can be anything. It can be a name, it can be a symbol, it can be a design. Now taking this forward, when we say this, there are three basic terms. When you say that brand, we are talking about brand. So when branding is being talked about, there are three terms which come into being. First is the brand. When you say it, it is actually name or symbol. It can be both the things. Okay, a mark, a symbol or name, it can be there. You can see you have the name, which is Nike, and you have a symbol. You have a name Pepsi and you have a symbol. So this is the brand, name, symbol, or both. But what is brand name? If it is asked, what do you mean by brand name? Brand name is that part of the brand which can be spoken, utterable. You can speak. You can speak Pepsi. You can speak Nike. When you can speak Hyundai, when you speak Ujala, you're speaking about the brand. This is the verbal part, the spoken part, which is verbally possible to be spoken. That is brand name. But the other terminology is brand mark. Brand mark cannot be spoken. It can be identified, it can be recognized, but it cannot be spoken. Can you speak this Audi's mark? You can speak it. That what is it? You need to. You cannot speak this McDonald's. You cannot speak it because you are. If it is written there, McDonald's, you are going to speak it, but this mark is not spoken. Okay, so these are brand mark which cannot be spoken, but which can be identified. Fine. What is a trademark? Now, when these marks and these names, when they are going to be registered, that is, yet they are registered because no one else can copy it. Your competitors cannot have the same name or the same mark. So when you get your symbol or your name registered, it becomes a trademark. So, what is a trademark, children? Trademark is the legal version of the brand. So, these are the terms you're going to keep in mind. There might be a short note on this. What is brand? It can be anything, name or symbol or both. But what is brand name? It is the spoken part of the brand, the verbal part. What is a brand mark? It is something which cannot be spoken, but it can be recognized. Okay, you can identify that. Now, trademark, it is the legal version of the brand. So, first thing about branding, which is the first part of the product mix, is we are talking about the terminologies of branding. Fine. Now, you want to keep a good brand name of your product. You have made a product, but you have to make sure that your brand should have a good name. You should have a good qualities of a good brand name are what kind of name we should keep, what is there in a name. Many things are there in a name. When you keep a name, people are going to recognize you with that name, children. So when you're going to keep a product name, it has to be very carefully, it should be adapted. When Ambassador was being launched, its name was Ambassador Nova. And Nova in one of the languages meant does not move. So when they came to know about it, immediately the word Nova was removed. So there are sometimes you have to be very careful while keeping your brand name. So what should be the qualities of a good brand name? First thing is it should be short, it should be simple. It should not be very lengthy or complicated. So it should be short and simple, first thing. Second thing, it should be suggestive. What does that mean? It means the name itself is suggesting about the features of the product. Ujala means it is something which is going to brighten up the things. Maybe something related to washing powders. Hair and care, something related to hair, and it is also going to give care to your hair. That is the name of the product. So it is suggesting the quality of the product or the features of the product by its name itself. Swift means it moves fast. So when this is being said, so whenever you're choosing a name, first thing is it should be short, it should be simple. Second, it should be suggestive. Third is it should be distinctive. It should be totally different from others. It should not be similar, not at all. It should not be similar to any existing brand name. Fine. So it should be distinctive. It should have a staying power. When you say this, it should have a staying power. It means that it is not going to become obsolete or outdated. It is going to have a staying power. And when you say this, it means that doesn't become an old name. We cannot say it is old. Tata is since many years. This name is going on. Dairy Milk. It will never go outdated. These are the names which are going to stay for a very, very long time, durable names. Fine, so they should not become old. Such should be the name. Then is it should be versatile. What do you mean by versatile, children? Versatile means that it should be able to accommodate other products if they are being launched in their name. When Maggie was being launched, it was launched with the noodles, but later this company, they decided of having tomato ketchups also in the name of Maggie. They could do it, and then they started with soup noodles or cup noodles. They could have done it because they have that name which is versatile. It can be accepted. Maggie does not mean that it is suggesting a particular thing. Fine, Colgate is a name in which you can add anything. It is for your, strong teeth or whitening teeth or salt Colgate or which type of a, you can talk about. You can extend the name to anything else, other type of a products too. Variety in the same product, in the same name. So versatility should be there in your product, should be such that it is versatile. It should be adaptable for packaging, for labeling. You cannot have a very big name and then you have a small soap cake, and then the name is very big. It's not coming on the package. So it has to be adaptable according to the package, according to the label. It should be there. So it should be satisfying the need of labeling, packaging, advertising. It should be adaptable in all those scenarios. It becomes easy to advertise such small names, Titan or Lux. Okay, so it should be adaptable and it should be protected legally. If you have a similar name, nobody is the registrar will not register that name. It should be protected legally. It should be registered. That is a good brand name. You cannot means it has not been copied. Fine. It should be protected legally. So these are the qualities of a good brand name, children. Short and simple, suggestive, distinctive, staying power, versatile, adaptable, and protected legally. Then they talk about what are the advantages of a brand. Now, there are various advantages of branding to marketeer also and to customers also. Why we are buying branded things? Why marketeer is offering a brand name? Why not a generic name? A person marketeer start advertising about a fan. He's making fans. You'll go to a shop and you say that there is a fan coming of a name we don't know. There is a fan, there is a fan, but what is the name? The shopkeeper will say, you say, I don't know. So you need to tell the brand name. Marketeer is losing because you might buy a competitor's product. So when you know the brand, you will buy that product only which is being offered by the marketeer. So let's see what the marketeer gains from keeping a specific name for his product, that is a brand. What is the benefit? The very first benefit is it enables making product differentiation. That is the marketeer product can be differentiated clearly from the competitor's product. You will go and buy the specific product which you want. You take the name, you will not get another product. You will get that same brand. So the marketeer will not lose upon his customer. He's rather going to, the number of customer will grow because people know what they're buying. So it helps the marketeer in product differentiation from the competitor's product. So customer will never get confused. Second thing is it helps in advertising and display programs. Whenever advertisement is done, hoardings are put up, banners are put up, your product name is there, brand is there, newspaper, the full page or half a page, it has the advertisement of it has the brand name of your product. So the people are going to buy the same product whose ad is there. So they should know the brand. So marketer becomes he's very comfortable because it is helping him advertise or to do display programs. Advertising becomes easier, right? Then there is differential pricing. If you are used to a particular brand, say a very costly brand, and you like the quality of that brand, you are ready to pay a higher price. So the marketeer When he says that he has a bigger number of customers and he knows that they are loyal enough, he can put or quote a higher price. So, differential pricing is there possible if you have a well established brand name. So, differential pricing is possible for the marketer if his brand name is established one. Then it becomes very easy to introduce new products. Suppose a marketer like Samsung or Sony or LG, they want to launch a new product. They already have ACs and televisions, they have washing machines, they have. They want to launch a dishwasher, not a big deal. In all these products, they will add on one more dishwasher. They need not go for a separate advertising. So it becomes very easy, and people know you're talking about Sony, you're talking about LG. They know the quality and they have faith in you. So if you're launching a new product, also the people are going to buy it. It becomes easy for the marketer to have introduced new product under umbrella branding. That is the umbrella of that brand name, and many products under that brand name are coming. So it becomes easy to introduce new product. Not getting confused with that what are the benefits of brand to a customer like us. If we are a customer, what is the use of a brand? The very first thing is it becomes easy for us to identify the product. We are going to buy the product because we know the name. We will go and we will say that please give us this product, give us Serve, give us Vim, give us Rin. They are going to provide us with the same product. Why? Because we know that what we are buying. So our time and efforts are going to be going are not going to be wasted. So it helps in product identification. Second thing is we know when we buy a brand, we buy a quality. And when we buy that brand, we are very confident about the quality of that product. So it ensures when you buy a branded product as compared to a local product, we know we are buying a quality product. So customer is ensured about the quality. If there is any problem, he can always go to the company and say that this brand has been so good till now. Now why there is a problem? So it ensures quality. And the last thing is it acts as a status symbol. People who are buying branded products, they feel proud of using that brand. They are, and that provides satisfaction to the customer. So it acts as a status symbol that I use branded products, a particular brand. So these are the utilities. Separately, you should know the advantages of branding to marketers and to customers. So this is branding. When we talk about second thing we are going to talk about introducing to you is packaging, the second ingredient element of product mix. First was branding, second is packaging. Now when you say package, what do you mean by package? Package means the outer covering, or the the outer design, or the wrapper, or the container of a product which is contained to safeguard the product inside. If you have toothpaste, the paste is the product. The tube in which it is being kept, that is a package. It is packed. So the container in which you will find the product, that is known as packaging. It can be very simple. As you get, school socks, if you go and buy on the tug shop, wherever we buy the socks are going to be only in one packet. That cellophane sheet is going to be there, that plastic cover is there, and that is its package. So packaging can be very simple or it can be very complicated also, but or many levels can also be there. But what is package? It is actually the outer covering, the container, the wrapper which contains the product inside. Now you see these toilet soaps are in paper boxes, the biscuits are in these papers, this plastic sheets, and televisions are in cardboard boxes, and along with those thermocols, perfumes which are in glossy bottles and designer bottles. These are all what? These are packages. So this is packaging, providing protection to the product and ensuring the originality of the product. It is not getting devastated. It is not deteriorating. It is not getting hampered, or it is not getting destroyed. So packaging helps. It is actually what? It is designing the outer covering, the container or the wrapper of the product. Now, when you say this, there are generally, maximum what we can think is three levels of packaging. Now, when you pack, you see this toothpaste. The paste is there in this primary pack. This primary pack is in this box. This is the secondary pack. And these boxes, these type of boxes, there are 10 or 12 in a bigger, corrugated boxes. That is transportation packaging. So three levels of packaging are there: primary level, secondary level, and transportation level. Primary level is the immediate pack over the product, that is known as primary packaging. Secondary packaging is the additional layer over the primary package, that is known as secondary packaging. Transportation packaging is a packaging which is being provided to the secondary boxes in order to transport. So big boxes are there through which you can transport. So there are three levels of packaging: primary, secondary, and transportation. What are the functions of packaging? First thing is, if you have that package, it should be such that it helps you to identify the product. So you are able, this pack is there on which this Lay's is written, or this blue pack is there. From from a distance you can come to know that this is a chips packet or Lay's packet or brand name, you can see clearly. So product can be identified through the color combination or from the packing, that it is this product and a very good quality packing. So first thing is, it helps in product identification. Second thing is, it helps in product protection. You see the siphon is protected so nicely. It is so many layers are there, and such good boxes are there that if it falls down also 100 times, the product, actual product is not going to be, it is not going to be spoiled. The third thing is facilitating use of the product. Coke bottles used to be, Coke used to come in glass bottles, but now there are PET bottles are there. If you see this, how the use of shampoo, you buy it and straight away start using it. You are going to, it is, and you need to just press the knob and the shampoo comes out. So it facilitates the use of the product. Packaging is such. Earlier times, there used to be, you used to buy ghee and oil that used to come in tins. It was so difficult to take out goods from it, take out oil from it. But nowadays it is just a can, pick up the can and use it. So facilitating the use of the product, that should be the function of packaging. And product promotion, the packaging should be such that it speaks for itself. So this is the function of packaging. We are going to talk about importance in the next in the next lecture, children. But I need to talk about your self check is going to come your way today. Self check is going to be in this form. You can click the picture. These are the missing things. Very quickly the answer should come, otherwise you might copy it out. It should not be cheated. But the second, I hope you are taking this picture you have taken. Please take it nicely. If you have taken the picture, you start answering the question. It might take a little time. And there is one more self check for you after this table. This has to be learned by heart. Again, I'm repeating, children, very important table. You need to learn by heart. The second is self check is this: identify the brand. You need to identify the brand. So both these things, it should be ABCD answers coming for the philosophies, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers coming for branding. It should be in the same format. So this time the self-check is the real self-check. So I hope you all will participate nicely, and you're going to be active, and you are going to revise before you sit for the next period, children. Reason being, it's a lengthy chapter. We need to coordinate every element properly. Okay. So thank you so much, and God bless you all.